Many years ago, long before things scattered like dry pepper in the wind, Amalia Chimanda was known in her town of Benuela as the quiet tailor with the softest eyes and the neatest stitches. She had a way of greeting people that made them smile, even on their worst days. Her mother always told her, "My daughter, your calmness is your crown. Don't lose it because of anybody's noise." And Amalia wore that crown like a queen. Then one hot afternoon, a man named Lazaro Matthews stopped by her shop. He came to fix a torn pocket, but what he truly noticed was Amalia. He stood in the doorway, staring as if he'd seen a miracle. From that day on, he called her Peace Woman. Lazaro was everything Amalia was not: loud, confident, and always laughing too much. He was a small businessman who sold car parts, but behaved as if he owned Mercedes-Benz itself. He loved talking, and somehow he found Amalia's silence fascinating. Soon, people began to gossip that the noisy man and the quiet tailor were becoming something special. When Lazaro finally proposed, it wasn't fancy. He just knelt beside her sewing machine with a small ring and said, "Marry me, Peace Woman, because I have had too much war in my life." Amalia's heart danced like never before. Their marriage started peacefully. He would come home tired and say, "My Peace Woman, your face alone is my therapy." But as months rolled by, Lazaro started acting as if her silence was a problem. When she didn't argue, he'd complain, "Are you even human? Say something." He called her calm nature boring. It was confusing because she was doing the very things he used to love. One evening, he said something that pierced her deeper than a tailoress needle. "Sometimes I feel like I am married to a pillow. Soft, quiet, and always there, but lifeless." Soon, Lazaro started coming home late, smelling of feminine perfume. The man who once said her calmness was healing now called it annoying. He would purposely provoke her just to see if she would react. His younger sister, Tanya, a woman as hot and noisy as pepper soup, came to visit. She whispered into her brother's ear, "Brother, this your wife is like a ghost. Are you sure you didn't marry her out of pity?" Lazaro started believing her. The breaking point was the dinner disaster. Amalia cooked his favourite meal, but he looked at it and said, "Chicken again. You are even boring in the kitchen." Tanya laughed and added, "Even your stew smells quiet and boring." Something inside Amalia snapped. She looked at them both, her eyes sharp as a knife, and said, "Tanya, if this house is too quiet for you, the road outside still works. And Lazaro, if chicken is too peaceful, next time I'll serve you crocodile." The room went silent. That night, she overheard him on the phone, telling another woman, Nadia, "You are exciting. You are not like my wife who just stares at walls." Amalia clutched her chest and whispered to herself, "So this is the reward for peace." Lying awake, listening to Lazaro's snores, she said a short prayer. "Lord, give me wisdom, or give me wings." And that was the night peace started preparing to fight back. The Amalia that woke up after that night was not the same. She was still calm, but it was the calmness before a hurricane. Her silence became her disguise. She started telling Lazaro she had new sewing contracts, leaving early and returning late with a mysterious smile. She visited her best friend, Rosa, a woman with the confidence of a lawyer who never loses. Amalia poured out everything. Rosa listened, then said, "My sister, even Jesus flogged people in the temple. Who are you not to shout?" That laughter was medicine. Rosa encouraged her to join a women's tailoring group in Luanda. Lazaro, busy with his newfound freedom, barely noticed her leaving. But Luanda taught Amalia how to glow. She started designing bold, colourful dresses that announced confidence. She opened an Instagram page for her fashion line, Casa de Paz by Amalia, and within weeks, her designs started trending. She was even invited for a TV interview about women who rebuild after heartbreak. When Rosa sent Lazaro the clip, he nearly dropped his phone. His wife was on screen, radiant in a bright orange gown. The presenter asked, "What inspired your transformation?" Amalia replied, "Pain has a way of turning peace into power." Lazaro stared at the screen like someone who just remembered he left a diamond in the trash. The next day, he received another video. It was Nadia, dancing with another man. The caption read, "Soft life baby with her real king." He screamed, "So I left my peaceful wife for this circus." He called Amalia. "I saw your interview," he stammered. "You look different." Amalia smiled. "That's because I remembered who I was before peace became punishment." He sighed. "Can we talk? I think I made mistakes." She laughed gently. "You didn't make mistakes, Lazaro. You made choices, and now the results are teaching you free lessons." With that, she ended the call. If life were a market, Karma would be the woman who never forgets to collect her balance. Lazaro's business started to fail. Clients disappeared. His reputation began to smell like rotten fish. Nadia, the firecracker he wanted, became his biggest headache, constantly demanding money and posting cryptic insults online. One day his car broke down, and he stood on the roadside sweating as mosquitoes held a conference on his legs. He muttered, "God, what did I do to deserve this?" Meanwhile, Amalia's brand, Casa de Paz, was flourishing. Her picture was on billboards and in magazines. Another TV station invited her for a live discussion. Lazaro was watching from a crowded bar. The host asked, "What advice do you have for women in silent battles?" Amalia smiled. "Peace is not about keeping quiet while dying inside. It's about knowing when to walk away before silence becomes your prison." The bar went quiet. Lazaro stood up and left before the laughter could start. A week later, he received a court summons. Amalia had filed for legal separation. He called and begged, "I can change, I'll do anything, I miss you." But Amalia's tone was firm. "You miss peace, not me. And peace doesn't return to a house that burnt it." When she ended the call, Lazaro broke down and cried, finally realizing what he had thrown away. A few months later, Lazaro was homeless. His landlord threw him out, his car was broken, and Nadia's number was disconnected. He finally understood. Peace doesn't make noise, but its absence screams. He saw a new interview with Amalia. She looked radiant. The interviewer asked, "How did you start all this?" Amalia said, "It started with pain. I stopped trying to please people who didn't value my quietness. Now, I'm using that energy to rebuild my life." One Saturday, Lazaro took a bus to Luanda. He found her studio, bright and busy. When Amalia saw him, she just smiled. "Good afternoon, Lazaro." He swallowed hard. "I came to say sorry. For everything. I was stupid." Amalia sighed. "I forgive you, Lazaro, but you see, even peace gets tired of waiting." He looked around her studio. "You built all this without me." She smiled. "No, Lazaro. I built it after you. Pain became my raw material." He left without another word, finally understanding the precious gift he had lost. That night, as she lay in bed, she thought about everything she had survived and smiled. She wasn't angry anymore. She was just thankful she had found herself before she was completely lost. Hours later, she saw a message from him on her business page. "I'm proud of you, Amalia. May your peace never run out." She typed back one short reply. "Amen." And that was how it ended, with a peaceful understanding between them. Thank you for watching. What lessons did you learn from Amalia's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more stories. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.